Good morning, beloved friend. As the first light brushes the edge of the horizon and the stillness of dawn lingers before the noise of the world awakens, I welcome you into this sacred moment. These early morning hours carry a hush that feels holy. The sky, still holding the last breath of night, waits in quiet reverence. The air is gentler. Time itself seems to slow, inviting the soul to pause before the day begins asking things of you. You are here awake when much of the world still sleeps, not by accident, but by divine intention. Some of you may be listening with weary hearts. Perhaps, like a woman I once spoke with, you are carrying more than anyone knows. She was the kind of person who smiled through pain, who kept going when her body begged for rest, and her spirit felt threadbare. Her days were filled with responsibilities, decisions, and silent prayers. But one morning, long before sunrise, she finally let the tears fall, not because she was weak, but because she was tired of pretending to be strong. In that still hour, with no audience and no expectations, she whispered one honest sentence: God, I can't carry this alone. And something shifted, not in her circumstances yet, but in her soul. For the first time in a long time, she felt heard, not by people, but by the one who made her. Maybe today, called, you find yourself in a similar place, quietly overwhelmed. Not undone by one large crisis, but slowly worn thin by many small ones. Worries about finances, struggles in your health, tension in relationships, or maybe the ache is deeper: the loss of someone or something that mattered more than words can explain. Whatever the weight is, I want to remind you, you were never meant to carry it alone, and you do not have to. These moments before dawn are not just early, they are sacred. History shows us again and again that God meets his people in the quiet, at the breaking of day, when hearts are most honest and distractions are few. This is not just a time to speak, it is a time to be heard, not by a distant force, but by a present and loving God. The one who shaped you in secret, who sees every battle you are too tired to name, who is not overwhelmed by your fears, your doubts, or your pain, and who waits, not for your perfection, but for your permission to step in. Prayer is not performance. It is not about getting the words right. It is about showing up trembling if you must, quiet if you need to, but willing to let him meet you where you are. Today is not about fixing everything. It is about letting him hold what you have been holding too long. It is about releasing what was never yours to keep and receiving what cannot be earned: peace, clarity, restoration. So, wherever you are, whether lying in bed with the covers pulled up to your chin, sitting in a silent living room with coffee in hand, or driving with tears clouding your vision, I invite you to enter this conversation with God, not as a stranger begging for attention, but as a beloved soul returning to the one who never left. Let this moment be the beginning of something sacred. You do not need a plan. You just need to be present. He is here, and he is listening. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you now without pretending, without trying to sound strong, because this morning my strength feels thin and my heart feels heavy. I wake up carrying a weight I do not fully know how to name. It is not only exhaustion in my body, but weariness in my spirit, a quiet tiredness that has settled deep from carrying too much for too long. I bring it to you just as it is. I am tired of holding myself together. I am tired of waking up already behind, already worried, already bracing for what the day might demand from me. I need you to see me here, honest and unguarded. Father, I admit that I have been trying to survive on my own understanding. I have tried to manage outcomes, control emotions, and stay composed while pressure quietly piled up. There are worries I have not spoken out loud, fears I have pushed aside, and questions I have carried silently because I did not know where to place them. Some days I feel like a house still standing after a storm, but with cracks hidden beneath the surface. I look steady, yet inside I am worn. I bring those hidden fractures to you now. I confess that my mind has been restless, even in sleep. My thoughts circle unfinished conversations, financial concerns, and responsibilities that feel endless, and uncertainties that leave me anxious. I confess that my heart has been tense, guarded by disappointment, and worn down by waiting. I confess that my spirit has felt dry at times, not because I stopped believing, but because I have been trying to carry burdens that were never meant for me alone. I lay all of this before you now, not cleaned up, not softened, but real. Father, I am not coming to you with solutions. I am coming with surrender. I am asking you to meet me in this weariness, right here at the beginning of this day. I do not ask first for answers. I ask for rest that reaches deeper than sleep. I ask for peace that steadies my breathing and quiets the noise inside my thoughts. I ask you to take what feels heavy in my hands and place it where it belongs, in yours. I acknowledge that I cannot carry yesterday into today and still move forward with clarity. I release the regrets, the unfinished expectations, and the pressure to prove myself. I release the fear of falling behind and the guilt of not being enough. I place these at your feet and admit that I need your strength to replace what mine cannot sustain. I need your presence to hold me steady before the demands of this day arrive. Father, I am here early because something in me knows I cannot face today without you going before me. I need you closer than my worries and stronger than my fears. I need you to speak peace into the places where my thoughts have been restless and my heart has been strained. I need you to remind me that I am not alone in what I carry, that you see what others do not, and that you are not impatient with my weakness. I choose to stop striving in this moment. I choose to pause instead of rushing ahead. I choose to bring my whole self into your presence, not the polished version, not the composed version, but the real one. I trust that you are near to the weary and attentive to the burdened. I trust that you do not require me to fix myself before coming close. I am here because I need you, and I open my heart to your nearness as this morning begins. God, I am still here. The morning has not rushed in yet, and neither have the answers I hoped would come. I sit with you in the quiet, holding more questions than clarity, more weight than resolution. But I choose not to pretend. If I cannot be honest with you, where else could I go? You already see every corner of my heart, so I will not hide from you. I will not try to impress you with calm I do not feel, or with faith that feels thinner than I want to admit. I bring you my real voice. I bring you the ache I carry and the hope I am afraid to fully hold. Father, sometimes it feels like I am holding my breath, waiting for something to shift. I keep walking through the days, doing what needs to be done, but there is a heaviness I cannot shake. I do not always know what is wrong, but I feel it. The slow fading of joy, the quiet hum of fear beneath my words, the dull ache of disappointment that I try to silence. Sometimes I wonder if you are near, and other times I fear that I have missed you. I want to believe you are still writing my story, but some chapters have been hard to read. Some prayers have stayed unanswered longer than I expected. Some parts of me have grown silent from waiting, but I am still here. I keep coming back because somewhere deeper than doubt, I still believe you hear. I still believe you care, even when I cannot explain why I feel distant or tired or confused. Something in me whispers that you are not absent, and that is enough for now. I do not need a miracle in this moment. I just need to know you are close. I do not need to have it all together. I just need space to fall apart in your presence without fear of rejection. Lord, I do not want to just survive. I want to live in a way that is honest and free, but right now I feel tangled. Tangled in expectations I cannot meet. Tangled in fears that feel louder than truth. Tangled in thoughts that loop over what ifs and regrets. I need you to break through this noise. I need you to remind me that I am not failing for feeling this way. That being overwhelmed does not mean I am faithless. That being scared does not make me weak. That needing you this much is not a problem to solve, but a posture you welcome. God, I am tired of feeling like I have to earn peace. Tired of believing I must be more perfect to be loved more deeply. I know in my mind that you are gracious, but I need that truth to move from idea to experience. I need it to reach the places where shame still whispers and fear still grips. I need it to settle into the parts of me that still flinch when things go wrong. As if trouble means you have turned away. Show me again that you are not like people who walk away when I am too much. Show me again that your nearness is not based on my performance. Lord, if I am honest, there are moments when I am afraid to hope. Hope feels dangerous when disappointment has visited more than once. Hope feels risky when prayers feel delayed and outcomes stay uncertain. But I know that to give up hope is to give up the part of me that is still reaching for you. So I offer you my fragile faith. I place it in your hands, not polished, not bold, but real. It may be trembling, but it is here. It may be small, but it is yours. Father, I do not need you to explain everything. I just need you to hold me while I walk through what I do not understand. I need you to be the calm inside the storm, not just the one who silences it. Be the anchor when the waves do not stop. Be the light when the path still winds through shadows. Be the whisper of peace when answers are still unfolding. You do not need to fix everything this morning for me to feel you. You only need to be near. So I cry out, not because I know what to say, not because I expect immediate change, but because I cannot keep silent. My soul is louder than my fear right now. My longing for you outweighs my need to appear composed. And if all I can do is cry, then let these tears be prayers. Let them carry the words I cannot form. Let them rise like incense from the center of who I am. You have heard the groans of hearts before. I believe you hear mine now. God, I will not pretend I have faith that never shakes, but I will hold on anyway. I will not pretend I feel strong, but I will keep showing up. I will not pretend this season is easy, but I will not walk away. I will choose you again and again, because I know that even when I do not feel you, you are still the one holding me together. You are still the one who sees me, who understands the language of pain, who moves with compassion instead of condemnation. So I bring you the heaviness. I bring you the ache of unanswered questions, of missed opportunities, of closed doors I hoped would open. I bring you the parts of me that feel tired of trying, tired of starting over, tired of hoping again, and I place them in your presence. You are not overwhelmed by what I feel. You are not shocked by what I carry. You invite me to release, not just manage. You invite me to break. If breaking is what leads me to your healing, let this be the moment where everything does not change around me, but something changes within me. Let this be the turning point, not in my circumstances, but in my posture. I do not want to keep pretending. I want to be real. I want to meet you in this rawness. I want to be found not in the version of me I show to others, but in the truth of who I am before you. Lord, I am here, still breathing. Backward, still reaching. Backward, still trusting. Even if it feels quiet, still choosing to believe that you see what I cannot, that you are working where I cannot see, and that this morning is not wasted, just because the answers have not arrived. Let this early hour be holy, not because of what happens next, but because of what is happening now. My heart is open. My walls are low. My cry is honest. Meet me here in the space where I stop performing and start receiving. Meet me here in the place where truth finally has room to speak. Father, I am still here with you in the quiet, where my words have turned into whispers, and my heart is no longer trying to prove anything. After all the tears and all the questions, something inside me has started to settle. I do not mean everything is suddenly clear or fixed, but I feel the edge of the storm softening. I feel the way stillness begins to stretch across my chest like breath I forgot I could take. I do not know what changed, only that something is changing. And maybe that is what your presence does. Maybe before anything shifts around me, you begin to shift something within. I am not trying to rush ahead. I do not want to force a breakthrough just to feel in control again. I only want to be honest here. And the truth is, even though nothing outside me looks different, I feel a flicker of calm that did not come from me. It did not come from having answers or having a plan. It came, I think, from being seen, from being heard when all I could offer was a fragile cry. You did not turn away from my weakness. You did not rush past my honesty. You let me break without leaving. You stayed. God, there is a kind of peace that is not loud. It comes like the first light before the sun fully rises. So subtle that I almost missed it, but it is here. Not a fix, not a resolution, just a gentle sense that I am not alone. Just a quiet confidence that you are still holding me, still working, still listening. Backward. And that is more than enough for this moment. I do not need to know the next step before I take this one. I do not need to feel strong before I believe I am not abandoned. There is something holy about feeling held when nothing has changed. Something healing about knowing you have not withdrawn just because I had doubts. You are not waiting for me to clean myself up. You are not demanding that I snap out of it. You are simply here. And now I see you more clearly, not in thunder or fire, but in the gentle quiet that follows my surrender. The kind of quiet that feels like rest after a long season of pretending to be okay. Lord, I can feel my shoulders dropping a little. I can feel my breath coming slower. My thoughts are not racing like before. I feel like I have stepped out of the storm and into a still place where your voice is no longer drowned out by fear. You have not spoken loudly, but you have been speaking all along, and I am starting to hear it now, not with my ears, but with the part of me that knows when something is true, the part of me that recognizes peace even when everything else is unsure. I think I forgot that you are gentle. I remembered that you are powerful, that you are holy, that you are righteous, but I forgot that you are kind. I forgot that you are not impatient with brokenness or annoyed by my weakness. I forgot that you lean in when I fall apart, that you are the shepherd who leaves the 99 to sit with the one who is too tired to stand. And this morning, that one is me. But I do not feel lost anymore. I feel found. I thank you, not because the pain is gone, but because I am no longer carrying it alone. Not because the struggle has disappeared, but because the weight of it no longer feels unbearable. Something in me has remembered that I do not have to carry everything, that I was never made to, that you do not love me more when I perform well, and you do not leave me when I unravel, that your nearness is not a reward I earn, but a gift you give freely. Father, help me not to forget this again. Help me to remember this stillness. Help me to return to it, not just in the early hours when the world is quiet, but in the middle of the noise, in the rush of the day, in the tension of waiting. Help me to carry this peace into places that feel chaotic. Help me to respond from this place instead of reacting from fear. Let this first light inside my heart be the guide through everything that follows. Let it be the compass that brings me back when I get disoriented or overwhelmed again. You are not only God of the mountaintop, you are God of the in-between. You are not only God of the miracle moments, you are God of this soft unfolding. And I worship you, not because everything has turned around, but because I feel you sitting beside me, because I feel the tenderness of your presence wrapping around the parts of me I thought were too fragile to expose, because I no longer feel like I have to keep it together to be near you. I am beginning to believe again, not in outcomes, but in you, not in guarantees, but in goodness, not in my own ability to figure it all out, but in your heart that never fails. You do not promise me ease, but you promise me presence. And today, that is the promise I am holding on to. That is the anchor I am tying myself to before the day begins to pull. Lord, let this moment mark me. Let it be more than a passing relief. Let it be the beginning of a deeper trust. I do not need you to rush the process. I only ask that you stay near as I walk it out. Let my thoughts be touched by this quiet. Let my decisions be shaped by this peace. Let my words carry the softness I feel here with you. Let my heart remain open to the kind of healing that takes time. I do not want quick fixes. I want real restoration. This light, this soft, steady light, it tells me that morning is coming, that darkness never has the final word, that even the coldest nights eventually give way to warmth. I feel that truth now, not as theory but as reality. I feel it like breath in my lungs again, like clarity in a mind that was fogged by fear, like calm in a heart that was clenched too tight. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, but it is real, and I receive it without question. Father, let this be the rhythm of my mornings. Not a performance, not a checklist, but a returning to stillness, a returning to the place where I remember who you are and who I am in you, a returning to the safety of your presence, where I am not defined by what I do or what I fear, but by the love that has always been here, even when I forgot it, even when I doubted it, even when I ran from it. I do not want to leave this place quickly. I want it to soak into me. I want it to change the way I see everything. Because when you are near, even silence becomes sacred. Even sorrow becomes bearable. Even waiting becomes worship. I trust you here, not because I know what comes next, but because you are in this moment, and that is enough. Let this peace go with me. Let it be the first word before all other voices. Let it be the stillness I return to when the world begins to spin again. Let it be the light that stays long after the sun has risen. Lord, something is stirring now. It is not loud or dramatic, but it feels real. The heaviness that once pressed so tightly on my chest is starting to shift. The silence I sat in has not just comforted me, it has strengthened me. I did not expect this. I came here simply hoping to survive another morning. But now, Father, I sense you inviting me to do more than survive. You are calling me to believe again, not just passively, not just in theory, but in a way that makes my heart rise and my voice steady. This morning, I feel the pull to take a step toward trust, not because everything is fixed, but because something inside me has awakened to the truth that you are still God and you are still good. I do not want to stay in a posture of hiding. I want to stand, not in my own strength, but in the confidence of who you are. I want to speak from a place that remembers what you have done before. And I do remember, even now, as the quiet lingers, I recall moments when you came through. I remember the times I thought I would break, but somehow I did not. The times I thought the door was closed for good, only to see you open another path. The times I thought I was abandoned, only to look back and realize you never left. Those memories are not distant anymore. They are fresh, and they are speaking to me. They are reminding me that if you were faithful then, you are faithful now. God, I am choosing to believe again. I am choosing to speak out what I know to be true. Even if my emotions are still catching up, you are not done writing my story. You have not forgotten your promises. You have not missed a single tear, a single sigh, a single ache. Every silent prayer has been gathered. Every moment I thought went unnoticed is held in your hands. And today, I shift from wondering if you will move to trusting that you already are. I confess that fear has taken up too much space in my thoughts. Fear of what could go wrong, fear of being let down, fear of hoping too much. But fear does not deserve the final word. I will not let anxiety set the tone for my future. I will not let doubt be the lens through which I see this day. I declare, with whatever strength I have, that you are with me and you are working. And even if I cannot see it yet, I will live like it is true. I will pray like heaven hears me. I will walk like peace is possible. I will believe like something good is on the horizon. Lord, I am not asking for blind optimism. I am asking for resilient faith, the kind that grows in the dark and blooms in the cold. I do not need to see everything clearly to take the next step. I only need to know you are near, and I do. You have shown me that you are not just a God of rescue, but a God of renewal, not just a healer of broken things, but a restorer of what felt lost. So I stand in that truth, shaky or not, and I begin to speak life again over the places that felt too dry to revive. I speak life over my mind. Let clarity rise. Let perspective be sharpened. Let peace guard every thought that tries to spiral into fear. I speak life over my body. Let energy return. Let rest be received. Let healing continue to move through places that have carried pain. I speak life over my heart. Let joy stretch deeper than grief. Let hope replace resignation. Let softness return where walls have gone up too high. I speak life over my future. Let doors open that align with your purpose. Let assignments find me in your time. Let my yes be ready when you call. Father, I will no longer agree with the narrative that says I am stuck or forgotten or left behind. I break agreement with every lie that tried to convince me I missed my chance. I break agreement with shame that told me I am too broken to be used. I break agreement with fear that told me to shrink instead of step forward. I choose truth now. I choose alignment with what you say, not what my circumstances scream. I choose to walk in the direction of hope, even if the path is unfamiliar. This is the shift. This is where faith begins to rise again. Not because the storm has passed, but because I have remembered who stands with me in it. Not because every answer has arrived, but because I no longer need certainty to keep moving. You are my reason. You are my assurance. You are the light that guides even when shadows linger. And I will not let what I do not know cancel out what I do. I know you are faithful. I know you are near. I know you finish what you start. Lord, let this trust reshape how I enter today. Let it rewrite the way I see interruptions, delays, and small beginnings. Let it change how I approach decisions. Let it influence how I speak to others. Let it carry into every room I walk into. I do not want this moment to stay in the early hours of the morning. I want it to go with me. Let this turning point become a lifestyle, not just a moment of inspiration. Let bold faith become my response to fear. Let gratitude become my answer to waiting. Let confidence in you become louder than the opinions around me. I will not live from the memory of fear. I will live from the memory of faith. I will remind myself often that I have been here before, unsure, tired, afraid, and still, you brought me through. This is not the end. This is another beginning, and I welcome it, not with forced joy, but with real hope, the kind that believes you are not just restoring me, but preparing me, the kind that believes this season is not wasted, the kind that believes breakthrough is already unfolding, even if quietly. Father, let this hope dig deep. Let it become rooted so firmly that no wind can shake it. Let it grow even when the soil feels dry. Let it bloom even when no one else sees it yet. Let it lead me back to you over and over, so that every morning becomes another chance to choose trust instead of fear, faith instead of frustration, surrender instead of control. Let this shift in me mark the beginning of something lasting. I do not have to see the whole path to take the next step. I do not have to feel brave to say yes. I do not have to have all the strength, because yours is enough for both of us. So I will walk forward, not with certainty in outcomes, but with certainty in you. You are the one who steadies my heart. You are the one who goes before me. You are the one who calls me into more, not because I am ready, but because you are with me. And I am ready now, not for everything, but for this, for one step, for one prayer, for one more moment of trust. I am ready to believe again, not because I have figured it all out, but because you never left, because you never changed, because you are still the God who brings dry bones back to life, who turns ashes into beauty, who rewrites stories from the inside out. This is where it begins again, with breath in my lungs, with trust rising like morning light, with a heart that says yes, even if its voice shakes. I will not wait for the world to shift before I believe. I will believe, and let that belief shape the world around me. I will carry this turning point with me, and watch how you turn it into transformation. Father, as trust begins to take root again, and my soul leans forward with quiet courage, something deeper begins to stir, something I have not wanted to name, but can no longer ignore. Beneath the fear, beneath the weariness, beneath even the longing to move forward, there is a deeper need rising now. I do not only need direction, or provision, or strength for today. I need to remember who I am, not who life has told me I am, not who pain has whispered I might be, but who you say I am when all the other voices go quiet. Because somewhere along the way, Lord, I started listening to voices that were never yours. I started absorbing labels that came from disappointment, from comparison, from rejection. I started shaping my self-worth around broken mirrors, measuring my value by things that shift and fade, by what I could produce, by how others responded, by whether or not I felt seen. And I confess that I have worn names that never belonged to me. Not good enough, too much, too little, always behind. Invisible, fragile. These names have stuck like shadows, and I have let them linger longer than I should. But I bring them to you now, one by one. I bring every identity that fear gave me, every story shame tried to write for me, every assumption formed in silence, every false agreement rooted in pain. I do not want to wear what wounds have spoken over me. I do not want to live from a version of myself shaped by survival. I want to return to what you spoke from the beginning. I want to remember that I was not created in insecurity, but in intention, that I was not formed in fear, but in love. God, I need you to remind me. Remind me that I am not defined by what I failed to finish. Remind me that I am not the sum of what I lost. Remind me that I am not disqualified by the places I have struggled to grow. I am not the echo of someone else's disappointment. I am not a reflection of broken relationships or unspoken expectations. I am not the product of pressure, nor the outline of pain. I am yours. I have always been yours. Let that truth fall fresh on me this morning. Let it settle into the places where lies have lived too long. Let it reframe how I see myself, not as someone barely holding on, but as someone held together by grace. Not as someone overlooked, but as someone chosen. Not as someone replaceable, but as someone uniquely seen, deeply known, and wholly loved. Strip away the noise that tells me I have to earn value. Break the belief that I need to achieve something to deserve peace. Quiet the fear that says I am only worth what I can fix. Father, speak into the silence where identity was once lost. Call me by the names that heaven never stopped using. Beloved, whole, seen, secure, not behind. not broken beyond healing, not disqualified,
Oh, whoa.
not forgotten.
Dude.
Let these names be louder now. Let them become the new language of my soul. Let them be the lens through which I see my reflection, not in comparison to others, but in alignment with your heart. Because I know now, you never changed how you saw me. Not when I doubted, not when I wandered, not even when I believed the wrong voices. You saw through all of it, past the masks and the defenses, and you waited patiently for me to come back to the truth. You waited for me to grow tired of pretending. You waited for me to return, not to who I used to be, but to who I truly am in you. And I am here now, ready to let you restore what shame tried to erase. Lord, I confess that I have let my past shape my identity more than your promises. I have let my mistakes become the story I tell myself. I have let disappointment convince me that I am hard to love, hard to lead, hard to keep. But you never turned away. You never agreed with the accusations I believed. You never held my failures against me. You stayed. You kept calling me by name. And this morning, I choose to respond, not with resistance, but with surrender, not with hesitation, but with trust. I choose to believe that what you say about me is truer than what I feel, truer than what I fear, truer than what I have experienced. Let this belief become the foundation beneath my steps today. Let it shape how I show up in rooms, how I speak to myself, how I respond to correction and conflict. Let it anchor me in places where I once felt unsteady. Let it give me the courage to be seen, not as someone pretending to be whole, but as someone becoming whole in your presence. Let it change the way I carry responsibility, no longer to prove worth, but to live out of it. Let it free me from the chase of validation. Let it untangle me from the hunger to be enough. I already am because you have said so. God, teach me how to walk in this identity, not just on good days, but in the days when doubt tries to creep back in. Teach me how to stand when I feel small. Teach me how to speak truth over myself when the world speaks something else. Teach me how to reject lies quickly and receive your affirmation deeply. Let my mind be renewed until the old patterns no longer fit. Let my heart be restored until I no longer shrink under pressure. Let my soul be steady enough to carry peace, no matter what comes. I do not want to just know that I am yours. I want to live like it. I want that truth to shape my posture, to influence my pace, to guard my choices, to overflow into how I love others. Because if I am truly seen and loved by you, I no longer need to compete for attention, no longer need to fear rejection, no longer need to build a life that looks impressive, but feels empty. I want to build from authenticity, not approval, from security.
Ooh.
Not striving.
Dude.
From trust, not tension. Father, I ask you to breathe on every place in me where I have doubted my worth. Breathe on the areas still wounded by the opinions of others. Breathe on the younger versions of me that never heard the right words. Speak to the child in me who still wonders if they are too much, too different, too unseen. Let your voice be the one that finally silences those questions. Let your love reach all the way back and all the way through. Let it rewrite the story I tell myself in quiet moments. Let it become louder than memory, stronger than fear, and more consistent than circumstances. You have not only given me a new name, you are restoring my voice. You are restoring my confidence. You are restoring the ability to show up without apology, to walk without shame, to hope without bracing for disappointment. This is not pride. This is healing. This is not arrogance. This is freedom, and I receive it. I welcome it. I choose it. Let this be the beginning of a new inner narrative, one that echoes what heaven already knows, one that no longer bends to the loudest opinion in the room, one that does not unravel in the face of failure, one that is rooted in truth and watered by grace. Let this identity not be a fleeting feeling, but a daily reality. Let it lead me as I make decisions. Let it hold me in conflict. Let it guide me in weakness. Let it carry me through transition. Let it shape the way I lead, the way I serve, the way I love. I am not trying to become someone else. I am not trying to impress you. I am only trying to return to who I already am in you. And if I forget again, remind me. Gently, firmly, consistently. Keep speaking until I remember. Keep showing me until I believe. Keep loving me until love is the loudest truth I live from. Because when I live from this place, this rooted, whole, beloved place, everything else begins to fall into place. Not perfectly, but truly. And that is enough for me. Father, now that I remember who I am in you, now that the noise of false names has quieted, and the truth of your voice is steady within me, I can finally begin to lift my eyes toward what lies ahead. I feel the day waiting, not just as a sequence of hours or tasks, but as a field I am called to walk through with intention, with wisdom, and with the covering of your presence. I do not step into this day lightly. I bring it before you first, before the world pulls at my time, before voices reach for my attention, before decisions come knocking. I bring every part of this day under your authority. God, I ask you to go before me. Prepare what I cannot see. Align what I cannot control. Shift what I would not even know to pray for. Nothing about today is too small or too big for you to care about. So I bring it all: the meetings, the conversations, the interruptions, the unseen assignments, the spaces where I will need grace, the places where I will need courage. Let this day not be driven by urgency, but shaped by purpose. Let it not be led by fear, but guided by peace. I ask for discernment, not just to know what to do, but to know how to do it. When to wait, when to move, when to speak, and when to simply be still. Lord, I surrender my plans, the to-do list, the calendar, the mental expectations. I lay them down at your feet. If you want to rearrange my schedule, I trust you. If you want to pause something I feel pressure to finish, I believe there is wisdom in the delay. If you want to accelerate something I thought would take longer, I receive it with humility. Let my posture today be responsive rather than reactive. Let me move with you, not ahead of you. Let my hands be open, not clenched with control. I bring my responsibilities into the light of your wisdom. The ones that feel too heavy, the ones that I carry silently, the ones that no one sees but you. I ask you to breathe grace into them, not just grace to finish, but grace to do them well with love, with patience, with integrity. God, I bring my work, whether it is in a quiet office or a noisy home, whether it is acknowledged by others or done in hidden faithfulness. Let it carry your fingerprints. Let it matter beyond the task itself. Let it bear fruit that remains. God, I ask you to bless the conversations I will have today, whether casual or crucial. Let my words be seasoned with wisdom. Let my tone carry peace. Let my responses come from the place of rest I found in you this morning, not from the pressure I may feel as the day unfolds. Guard my tongue from speaking too quickly or defensively. Teach me to pause before I reply, to listen more deeply than I have before, and to speak only what builds, not what tears. Where there is conflict, let me be a peacemaker. Where there is tension, let me be a steady presence. Where there is silence, let me not rush to fill it, but wait for what you might want to do in that space. Father, I intercede for the people I will encounter today. I may not know their burdens, their battles, or their prayers, but you do. Let me be sensitive to their unseen stories. Let compassion guide my interactions. Let empathy slow my judgments. Let kindness be a reflex, not a decision I have to calculate. Whether I speak to one person or many, let my presence carry something of your peace. Let others feel safer, not smaller. After being around me, let grace flow through my posture more than my words. I also bring my household to you, those under my roof, those I love from a distance, those I carry in prayer even when they do not know it. I ask for protection over their bodies, their minds, their emotions. Let your peace guard the atmosphere in my home. Let your wisdom guide the way I nurture, lead, and support those around me. Let unity be preserved. Let misunderstanding be quickly resolved. Let love be louder than stress. I ask you to hold the hearts of my family gently, but firmly, in your hands today. God, I ask for covering in every environment I enter. Let no harm find access. Let no agenda that opposes your purpose take root. Let no hidden trap catch me unaware. I do not always know where danger hides, but you do. And I trust you to guard the places my feet will go. Be my shield where I cannot defend myself. Be my rear guard when I forget to look behind. Be my strength when I am caught off guard. I choose not to live in paranoia, but in awareness anchored in the truth that I am never alone, never unguarded, never outside the reach of your care. Lord, I ask for favor not for applause, not for comfort, not to build my own name, but so that your purpose can move through me unhindered. Favor that opens the right doors and closes the wrong ones. Favor that protects me from compromises I do not yet see. Favor that positions me to serve, to love, to lead with humility and courage. I ask that your favor would follow me into rooms where decisions are made, into places where influence is shaped, into settings where quiet obedience will speak louder than ambition ever could. I bring my finances before you too, not just the numbers, but the mindset behind them. I ask for wisdom to steward well what you have placed in my hands. Wisdom to say no when impulse pulls. Wisdom to give when generosity matters more than calculation. Wisdom to plan with peace, not fear. Let provision come steadily, not anxiously. Let stability replace striving. Let contentment grow deeper than comparison. I trust you to provide, but I also ask you to shape me into someone who honors provision well. Father, I ask you to strengthen my emotional posture as I move through today. When frustration comes, let patience meet it. When discouragement knocks, let truth answer. When weariness creeps in, let joy push back. When uncertainty clouds the moment, let clarity rise like light through fog. I know that emotions are real, but they do not get to lead. I choose to be led by your spirit, not by my reactions. Let your gentleness shape my decisions. Let your peace filter my perspective. Let your love hold me steady when my feelings are unpredictable. God, let me carry this awareness of you all day long, not just in the quiet of morning, but in the chaos of afternoon, in the weariness of evening, in the mundane moments that seem to blur together. Let me return to you again and again in thought, in breath, in silent surrender. Let prayer be a rhythm, not a routine. Let trust be a reflex, not a struggle. Let worship be woven into the way I move, the way I work, the way I respond to both success and struggle. And Father, if today brings something unexpected news I did not want, change I did not ask for, pain I did not prepare, for let me remember this moment. Let me come back to this place where peace was planted. Let me find again the steady truth that you are not surprised, that you are already in tomorrow, that you are still holding me, even when everything else feels shaken. Let me live today with open hands, steady breath, clear eyes, and a heart anchored in grace. I do not know what this day will hold, but I know who holds me, and that is enough. So I choose to step forward not with pressure, but with purpose, not with fear, but with faith, not with a need to prove anything, but with a desire to walk in everything you have already prepared. Let this day be shaped by heaven before it is touched by earth. Let it be marked by your presence before it is filled with demands. Let it be a canvas where your goodness writes stories I could never orchestrate on my own. Father, as I prepare to step fully into this day, I feel the tension between tenderness and strength. There is a part of me that wants to remain in this gentle space with you forever, wrapped in the quiet comfort of your nearness. And yet, I know you are not just calling me to stay in stillness. You are calling me to carry it with me, to move forward with a heart that remains soft, even as the world grows hard. I do not want to lose what you have planted in me here. I want to protect it, nurture it, walk in it. So today, I ask for both a soft heart and a strong spirit. God, it is easy to become guarded when life has required endurance. Easy to let disappointment build walls. Easy to respond with defense rather than discernment. But I do not want to let pain harden what you have made tender. I do not want to mistake coldness for strength or distance for wisdom. I want to be deeply rooted and yet wholly open. I want to be resilient without becoming rigid. Teach me how to stay soft in a world that so often demands the opposite. Show me how to carry compassion without losing clarity, how to love without losing boundaries, how to feel deeply and still move wisely. Lord, I ask that you shape my character more than you shape my comfort. Let integrity be more important to me than ease. Let humility hold me steady when I am praised and lift me when I am unseen. Let kindness never be sacrificed on the altar of efficiency. Let my presence bring peace, not because I avoid hard things, but because I walk through them anchored in you. Help me remember that strength is not proven by how loud I am, but by how grounded I remain when pressure rises. There will be moments today, I know, when it will be tempting to respond with sharpness or pride. Moments when I may feel challenged, misread, or misunderstood. In those moments, God, let your voice rise louder than the noise around me. Remind me that I do not have to win every argument, defend every motive, or fix every tension. Remind me that sometimes the strongest response is quiet, the bravest answer is gentle, and the most powerful move is restraint. You are the God who speaks through whisper and who leads with mercy. Make me more like you. Father, let patience be formed in me where frustration wants to take root. Let gentleness meet people where control once ruled. Let grace lead where judgment would have stepped in. Help me to see others not as obstacles or obligations, but as stories in progress just like me. Let me speak with care even when my words are few. Let me pause long enough to hear what is not being said. Let me choose presence over performance, empathy over efficiency. I ask for wisdom that does not come from impulse or pride, but flows from a place of reverence. Wisdom that knows when to speak and when silence will serve better. Wisdom that sees past appearances and responds to true needs. Wisdom that does not seek to control, but to understand. And in the moments when I do not know what to say or do, let me be slow to assume and quick to seek you. You are not just the source of insight, but the well of peace that allows me to hold space for complexity without being overwhelmed by it. God, in relationships today, whether they are old or new, easy or strained, help me to walk with sensitivity. Let my love be sincere, not performative.
Chloe?
Let my interactions reflect maturity, not reaction. Called, let forgiveness come faster than bitterness. Let honor come naturally, not conditionally. Where trust has been broken, let me be wise in rebuilding, but not hopeless in believing it can be restored. Where distance has grown, help me not to rush reconnection, but to remain open to it. And where closeness is strong, help me to steward it well with appreciation, with truth, and with joy. Teach me how to lead without controlling, how to follow without losing my voice, how to disagree without devaluing, how to set boundaries without closing my heart. There is a balance I cannot find on my own, but you are faithful to guide me. You are faithful to show me that softness is not weakness, and strength is not dominance. In you, I can be both. I can carry tenderness and walk with confidence. I can stay grounded in truth and still extend grace freely. Lord, I also bring my internal world back to you again, because I know that how I carry myself on the outside flows from what is happening within. If my thoughts begin to drift toward harshness or insecurity, pull me back. If my emotions begin to swell beyond what is healthy, steady me. If my motives begin to seek validation more than alignment, correct me. I give you permission to interrupt me, to remind me of what matters most when I am tempted to lose focus, to slow me down when speed becomes a cover for avoidance, to recalibrate me when my tone or posture veers from love. Let every part of me reflect your nature, even in the smallest interactions. Let compassion color the way I speak to someone who is difficult. Let courage carry me into conversations I would rather avoid. Let faith remind me that my efforts are never wasted when done in love, even if they are unseen, even if they are not returned. even if they are misunderstood. Let obedience be my measure of success. Let softness be my act of strength. God, help me stay teachable today. Let correction be something I receive with humility, not defensiveness.
Play.
Let new perspectives stretch me without threatening me. Let me be willing to grow without shame. Let me apologize quickly when I am wrong. Let me ask for help when I need it. Let me stay rooted in the truth that growth is not a weakness. It is a sign of your spirit still shaping me. I do not want to stay the same. I want to become more like you, bit by bit, day by day. And Father, when I feel myself reaching the end of my capacity, when I am tempted to shut down emotionally, when I feel stretched too thin or overwhelmed, remind me that returning to you is always the way forward. Let me recognize the signs of burnout, not as failure, but as signals calling me back to rest. Let me slow down without guilt. Let me retreat into your presence without apology. Let me remain tender toward others without becoming depleted. Let my strength come from intimacy with you, not intensity and effort. I do not want to live armored up with pretense. I want to live layered with grace, covered, not closed, guarded by wisdom, not fear, led by truth, not ego. Let me embody what it means to carry peace, not just feel it, to reflect light, not just chase it, to remain rooted in compassion, even when the world forgets how to be kind. Father, let this way of being settle into every room I enter today. Let it shift the atmosphere not because I am loud, but because I am grounded. Not because I have the right words, but because I carry the right spirit. Let calm rise in my presence, not because I am perfect, but because I have chosen to stay soft. Let strength be evident, not because I push through, but because I walk with you. Let your character become my compass, not just in moments of pressure, but in the ordinary exchanges that shape the tone of a day. This is how I want to live. God, soft in heart, strong in spirit, steady in love, secure in truth. Let this not be a rare morning posture, but a daily rhythm I return to again and again. Let this way of moving through the world become my normal, one shaped not by fear or fatigue, but by you. God, as this sacred morning draws forward and the stillness begins to make way for movement, I remain with you a little longer. My heart is quiet, but not empty. My thoughts are slower, but clearer. My spirit is no longer anxious, but anchored. Something has changed not in noise or fanfare, but in the quiet way healing always begins. I do not rise from this moment with all the answers, but I rise different, not because I fixed anything, but because I let you meet me in everything. Father, I thank you for the way you walk with me through silence, for the way you never rush my process or demand a performance. You did not expect me to come polished. You invited me to come present, and now I see that was enough. All you ever asked of me was honesty, and here in this honesty, I have found rest. Here in this honesty, I have rediscovered trust, and not just trust in what you can do, but trust in who you are. That changes everything. As I look toward the hours ahead, I no longer feel like I must conquer them. I feel like I can walk through them with grace, with awareness, with a steady heart. The burdens I carried into this morning have shifted. Some have been lifted, some still remain, but they no longer weigh the same, because I have remembered that I am not alone in carrying them. You walk with me, You go before me. You stand beside me. And where I am weak, you are not. Lord, let this peace follow me. Let it stay close when stress tries to creep in. Let it guard my tone when conflict arises. Let it guide my steps when the path twists. Let it hold me steady when my emotions begin to sway. This peace is not fragile. It is not circumstantial. It was not borrowed from good news or perfect outcomes. It came from you, and because it did, it is lasting. Let it be the tone of my thoughts. Let it shape the way I speak. Let it lead the way I love. I ask that you continue to shape my day with intention. Let the right doors open and the wrong ones stay closed. Let the interruptions hold hidden blessings. Let the delays carry unseen protection. Let the simple tasks bear eternal significance. Let the ordinary become sacred as I move with awareness that you are near. I do not want to rush past the moments you have placed in my path. I want to meet them with grace. I want to bring something holy into spaces that feel hurried. I want to be a reflection of what I found here in the quiet. And God, I pray not just for myself, but for everyone listening and praying with me now. For the one who prayed through tears, wondering if they are heard. For the one who came with questions too heavy to name. For the one who has not prayed in a long time, but found themselves drawn here by something they could not explain. I thank you that you met each of us personally, not with formulas, but with presence, not with rules, but with rest. You know every heart. You know every story, and you never grow weary of meeting us in the middle of our need. Let what we received here stay with us. Let it grow in us. Let it bear fruit in conversations, in decisions, in small unseen moments where obedience whispers louder than fear. Let it be planted deep, where no lie can uproot it, no storm can steal it. And if we forget what we heard here, when the day becomes loud again, bring us back. Gently, patiently, as you always do. Let this rhythm become more than a moment. Let it become a way of living, a way of returning, a way of staying close. There is no need to rush now, only to move with you. There is no pressure to perform, only the freedom to walk in peace. There is no shame in being still, only strength to be found in it. You have reminded me that stillness is not passivity. It is power held in surrender. And today, I choose to move from that surrender with my eyes lifted, my spirit quieted, and my heart open. Father, let hope rise in every soul that joined this morning prayer. Not a shallow hope that depends on outcomes, but a living hope that flows from knowing you. Let it stir again where it once faded. Let it breathe again where it once went silent. Let it anchor us when the winds of uncertainty come. Let it shine gently, like light spilling over the horizon, soft but steady. Let it remind us that every ending in you holds the beginning of something new. And as the first light of day begins to break through the edges of the sky, I see it as a sign that you are still doing what you have always done, bringing light out of darkness, renewal out of weariness, clarity out of confusion. You are not finished, and neither are we. This day is not empty. It is sacred. This moment is not a closing. It is an opening, a breath before the step, a reminder that no matter what we face, we do not face it alone. Thank you, dear friend, for walking through this journey with me. Thank you for choosing to be here, for sitting in the quiet, for opening your heart, for leaning into the kind of faith that is formed slowly but surely. If something stirred in you today, I invite you to share it. Share your thoughts, your prayers, or even your silence. There is space here for your voice, your story, your becoming. And if this prayer has spoken to you, I invite you to subscribe to this channel so we can continue seeking together. Share this video with someone who may need it, someone who might be waking up weary, someone who might be searching for light. Let this be a gift you pass on, a rhythm you return to, a reminder that we are never too far gone to begin again. Keep coming back to the stillness. Keep returning to the presence. Keep holding space for hope. And let the peace of this morning linger like a soft wind through an open window, like quiet sunlight warming the edges of a brand new day, like a stream of living water flowing gently through the soul, never rushing, never forcing.
Coupled.
Always enough. Called